Alrighty, here we go. Hope you're all ready for some yoga. Adjust my microphone so that it's a little bit closer. Just the camera so it's not the crooked. We're going to get into some easy, beneficial postures for ourselves, but also those postures will transition into our day-to-day life, like sitting, standing, lying down, things that we do on a daily basis. Just spending a few minutes here getting set up, getting ready. I need my watch so that I don't go over time, and so that I can be mindful of your time as well. Super important here to have an open mind. If you don't have a yoga mat, you could use a thicker blanket. I don't know if I have an example of one. Yeah, I do. So if you don't have a yoga mat, a thicker blanket like this will serve just fine for this. If you have a yoga mat, you could have an extra blanket so that you could cover up during the sitting practice, or at the end if you want to cover up while we're doing Shavasana. These are all valid points that you can do to increase your comfortableness and your relaxation here. Additionally, if you want to use a yoga block, or if you have a book, I would recommend a towel or a blanket to put over top of a book, especially if it's hard covered, so that you can increase the comfortability of sitting on one of those things. Additionally, if you feel like you might have struggles to reach maybe your opposite hand to your opposite leg, you could use something like a belt or a strap would work, so that when we are doing the twisting postures, you can put the strap or belt over your knee. So if you can't effectively reach across your body, you have something to grab onto to help twist and just get your body into that motion easily. Keep in mind that this is about you. This is not about how far you can push yourself. This is about learning about your body and what your capabilities are here. This is not who can push themselves the furthest. This is not what yoga is about. Yoga is about learning about ourselves, but also creating and cultivating practices that will benefit you in the long term. This is not something that you do once and you gain a million benefits. I can tell you from personal experience that you have to work at this. I've been practicing yoga for 16 years, and I've been teaching it for just over 10 years. So it's not something that you finish. It's something that you work at over a long period of time. Just like many things that I've struggled with in my life, mental health and physical health, you are going to fall in and fall out of things. You'll fall in and fall out of practices physically and mentally as well. So it's very important to keep those things in mind. Alright, as we get into this, you're going to get into a cross-legged position again if you need that yoga block to sit onto. Placing the yoga block where the glutes are. You want to make sure that you're sitting into your hip bones. So as best you can, nobody's perfect here, so just listen to your body, whatever it's trying to tell you. Super important to find the comfortable in your body. If you have a hard time crossing your legs, that yoga block is going to be a boon to you. It's going to be a great thing. It's going to allow you to get your legs underneath you and gain the full benefits of having proper posture, that vertical pelvis, and that S curve into the spine. And I'll get into that in a few moments here. So finding your posture here. For myself, sitting on the floor, I have to reach underneath my glutes, pull my glutes out of the way of my sit bones. This is paramount for bringing that posture and straightness into the pelvis region. When you aren't engaging into sitting into your bones, you're promoting a tilted pelvis, which promotes deformities through our spine and through our hips. Keep that in mind. So nobody's perfect. These aren't easy practices. You have to work at them. They are not something that comes with a single practice. It is taking me many years to perfect these practices within myself and perfect the teaching techniques that I have as well. Once we engage into those bones, pulling those sit bones out from underneath the muscles, we are going to engage the first power lock and the first set of muscles here. They are tied to our root chakra, Muladhara chakra, and this is called Mula Bandha. These three power locks engage a vessel of power inside our body, allowing us to conserve energy throughout our practice and throughout our day. This is known as Maha Bandha when we engage all three. I'm just going to readjust at any point. Feel free to readjust if you want to put your left foot out or underneath and your right foot out in front. Feel free to do so. I can't tell you how to listen to your body. It can only show you the best techniques to do so. From here, we're engaging Mula Bandha. This is like you have to go to the bathroom very badly, but there is no bathroom in sight. Additionally, you can practice Kegel exercise. This is going to the bathroom and stopping peeing midstream will build the strength through those muscles. Additionally, we want to be able to pull those muscles up towards our tummy. This builds strength and circulation through the lower extremities, preventing pain from varicose veins, blood clots, and diabetes. Additionally, we are boosting the digestive tract organs, the urinary tract organs, and the reproductive tract organs. So we're getting massive benefits from just a single practice here. From there, we move up to the next power lock, Uddiyana Bandha. This is tied to our Svadhisthana chakra, our solar plexus chakra. In this, when we engage this power lock, we are flushing fresh oxygen into the organs in the abdominal region, and we are helping to protect the lumbar spine. From here, we pull the belly button to the spine as best we can. It's not easy. Do your best here. If you can only hold these for a few seconds, that's fine. That's where I started. Don't get discouraged. Practice them when you can and engage them for as long as you can. From there, pardon me, we're moving up to the heart chakra. In here, we are using this. This is not a power lock. We are using this solely to protect the thoracic spine and open the rib cage so that we can get inhales and exhales as deeply as possible, allowing the diaphragm to do its job. This posture is simply pulling the shoulder blades together with the rhomboid muscles in between the shoulder blades, and then we're just simply rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Conversely, you can have the hands down by the glutes here to support the spine, resting the hands in the lap or on the knees, wherever is comfortable for you. I did that backwards, but whatever, you'll get the gist of it. From there, we're engaging our last power lock. This is Jalandhara Bandha. This is tied with our breathing as well, but I'll get to the posture first. We're reaching with the crown of the skull to the sky. This helps to extend the cervical spine and remove those deformities between the thoracic and cervical spines. Our generation is culprit to this because we're always constantly looking down at our phones when we should be holding our phones to our face. Additionally, we are tucking the chin down 1/2 inch to 1 inch. What this does is it extends that cervical spine even further, improving and extending the benefits of the removal of deformities in the thoracic and cervical spines. From here, we are engaging into our breathing. Now that we have engaged Mahabandha, this is the next important step to gaining dominion over the 60,000 thoughts that we have in a day and the addiction that we have to our sensory organs: sight, smell, taste, touch, sound. From here, we engage Jalandhara Bandha by tucking that chin down. This allows us to restrict the airflow slightly through the back of the throat. And here we are engaging what's called Ujjayi breath, or Ujjayi breathing. Strictly breathing through the nose is what this is all about. We do this by placing the tongue at the roof of the mouth where the teeth and the gums meet, in behind the front teeth here. So you're placing the tongue at the roof of the mouth. This helps swirl the air in the back of the throat. This creates a rhythmic vibration that helps to relax and take us out of the the sympathetic nervous system and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is that fight or flight, stress, anxiety, and things like that. So here we go. We're engaging into the breath now, sitting nice and tall and strong as best you can here. If you want to support that spine once again, you totally can. As we breathe, we are breathing through the nose. This is to help activate the parasympathetic nervous system. As we breathe here, we want to forget everything that happened before we started, and forget everything that we need to do after we're done. Focusing to the inhales and exhales. I recommend 3-second inhales, 4-second exhales. If you find the mind is wandering after that, you can count the inhales and exhales. It will further help to distract the mind, bringing you into the present moment. As we breathe here, now is a good time to set intentions for your practice. Why do you want to practice yoga? Why do you practice any other movement? Maybe it's to touch your toes. Maybe it's to be strong enough to pick up a loved one, whoever it is, whatever it is. You want to go for a run. You want to ride your bike again. You want to be able to tie your shoes. Whatever the purpose is for you here, this is our intention for practice. Maybe you want to meditate better. Maybe you want to have more control over those addictions to our sensory organs. It is not easy being a human. Using affirmations here is also an acceptable thing. Telling yourself whatever you need to hear: I am happy, I am healthy, I am strong, I am loved. Whatever it is that you need, you are allowed to ask for it here, and the universe typically will reciprocate. You are connecting to the planet, the self, and the astral plane, the higher self, the energy wavelengths of life. Only we ourselves can free ourselves from mental slavery. And the best way we do this is with the yogic teachings. They are the oldest mental health tools on the planet. If you're feeling some tension through the spine, feel free to relax here. Maybe do some side sways, maybe do some hip circles, going rotationally, clockwise to start, maybe counterclockwise, and then coming back into the breath once your spine feels better. Remember, this is not a practice that you finish. This is a practice that you try to do your best. You strive for better than yesterday, better than last week, better than last month, better than last year. We all deal with different types of suffering. What better way to address that suffering than working on the self, listening to the body, gaining unity between mind, body, and soul. Few more moments here in breathing. We're going to get some cleansing breaths in. We're going to take care of the spine here today and get into the hamstrings with a runner's stretch. Get some cat-cows in. From here, we're going to get 2 cleansing breaths in. We do this by taking a nice deep inhale. Here we go. Inhale. Fill those lungs all the way up. And then sigh on the exhale. As loud or as quiet as you want. Nice deep inhale. Here we go. And sigh. Super simple, super easy. Alright, here we go. We're going to get into some spinal twists to help warm up the spine, keep the strength in the spine, bring blood flow and oxygen into the abdominal organs and that spine as well. Starting with our left hand, we are placing our left hand at the base of the spine. If you want to swap your legs now, would be a good time. I'm going to do so myself. Re-engage into that posture, placing that left hand at the base of the spine as close to the buttocks as possible. If you need that strap or belt over the knee here, if you can't reach the knee, so that you have something to grab onto, or maybe you got pants on, you can grab onto the pants as well. I'm going for my knee. If you want to, you could come towards the thigh if that's easier. The goal here is to use the abdomen to twist. We're not using the arms to push into this twist. We are wanting to build abdominal strength as well as back strength whilst doing this. Nice deep inhale. We're going to twist and look over our back shoulder, the arm that is at the base of the spine. On our inhale, we take that nice deep inhale. On our exhale, we're twisting, looking over that shoulder for 5. Nice deep inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's 4. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's 3. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's 2. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, last breath. Coming back to center with the inhale. Sit here for a breath or two. Shake out that left arm. Maybe you got some tingling going on. I don't know your body. Maybe you got some tingling going in the right arm. I do not know. Same thing, opposite side. Yoga is about equal and opposite, so we are trying to do our best to get the practice in on both sides. Right hand is at the base of the spine, as close to the buttocks as possible. Right hand grabbing onto the pant leg, onto that strap, on the knee or the thigh. Nice deep inhale here. We're twisting and looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's 4. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's 3. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist, that's for 2. Inhale, release a little. Exhale and twist for last breath. Inhale back to center. Sitting nice and tall once again. From here, we're going to get into a side stretch. This is going to be a little more intense for some people than others. Again, use the yoga block as you feel fit to. It's entirely up to you. Listen to that body. Nobody can do it for you. We're going to do a split-legged side stretch. So I'm going to turn sideways here. Basically, you're just spreading your legs out into a V, or if you can go further than the V, that's fine. Listening to your body is what this is all about. I'm going to go towards the middle of my mat so that my heels can create some tension here through my groin, so I can get a double stretch here through my hamstrings and into my groin, but also stretching up and down the lats into our psoas muscles and intercostal muscles. If you sit or stand for long hours in your day, this is going to be greatly beneficial. This is where a strap is going to be a great thing for you. You're going to want to place that strap over top of the knuckles on the foot or the belt, whatever you've got. And then you're just simply grabbing wherever you're comfortable. If you have flexibility, you can grab with the index finger and middle finger through the big toe and I think it's pointer toe, and you're going to grab onto that toe with that hand. Additionally here, if you can't reach down here, you don't have a belt, you can use your pant leg or your thigh wherever you're at. This is super important. As we get into this, we are going to start in the center, and then we're going to reach to the side once we are done reaching to the sky. As we reach to the sky, we are inhaling nice and deep. As we reach to the side, our right hand is reaching like a wedge to the sky as high as we can. We're reaching over to this foot as best we can, strap, pant leg or not. And then we're driving this right arm to the sky into the clouds overhead. You can look forward to the eye of the elbow, the fingertips, or the roof. This is entirely up to you. Here we go. That should be about 4, 3, for 2, and that's last breath. On the exhale, we're coming to center. Inhale here. Exhale, same thing, opposite side. We're reaching to that toe, shin, strap, wherever you're at. Pant leg, driving this left arm to the sky, looking to the eye of the elbow, the roof, or the fingertips, or the wall in front of us. That's 3, for 4. As we exhale, coming back to center. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, prayer, or just relax here. From here, we are getting into our knees and standing, or tabletop pose into our knees. We're going to get into our cat-cow pose. And then from there, we're going to get into a hamstring stretch. And then once our hamstrings are all warmed up, we're going to get into runner's pose. Then by that time, we should be ready for Shavasana. So we are coming to our hands and knees. I'm going to turn sideways so you can kind of see what's going on here initially. But you want to make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Turning sideways so you can see what's going on here. These are known as cat-cows. I'm going to stay sideways for the first few. We're going to do about 5. As we engage into this, you want to make sure that you're accentuating your spine here so that you gain the full benefits. As we engage into cow, we are going to be lifting our head to the sky and looking up to the roof as best we can. From here, we are dropping our belly to the floor, and then we are accentuating our hips and bringing our sit bones as high as we can and dropping our hips as low as we can. We're inhaling nice and deep here. As we come into the converse, we are opening our shoulders nice and wide here. Exhaling, we're coming into cat. We're dropping the head to the floor. We're driving the shoulder blades and top of the back to the sky. Additionally, we are driving those sit bones down to the floor and the pelvis as well up to the sky. Exhaling. Inhale, we're going to cow. Exhaling to cat. Inhaling 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 to cow. Exhaling to cat. Inhale, neutral spine. From here, we are getting into that hamstring stretch. We are going to do this by coming into a basic lunge. This is going to set us up for getting into the runner's stretch that we're going to be doing after this. We do so by reaching. We're going to start with our right foot forward. And into this, we are dropping back. So we are keeping this leg out in front, and we want to use the hands to support wherever we need them. If you need to, you could use a yoga block to sit back onto. Whatever you need to do here, you know your body better than anybody else. But I'm just going to use my heel here in half hero's pose. and basically supporting with my hands and driving my toes towards my knee. Straightening this right leg as best I can. That's 4. That's 3. For 2. And 1. We're coming back up into the lunge. We're switching sides now. Bringing the hands back out in front. Bringing this left foot out. Same idea here. We're dropping back into this hamstring stretch. Sitting back onto the yoga block. Maybe you don't have a yoga block, but you got some books. Maybe you got some weights kicking around. Make sure it's nice and comfortable to sit on. And we're pulling those toes towards the knees as best we can for 4. That's 3. That's 2. And last breath. Coming back up. Switching legs again. We're going to get into our runner's stretch here in this lunge. Very important to listen to your body. Maybe you're feeling the stretch right here. Maybe you need a little extra. We're going to push into that back leg, lift the knee off the floor, and you're coming down. If you have yoga blocks, maybe you need yoga blocks. However you need them here. If you don't want that extra advancement here, drop the knee down. Come down as floor oriented as you can get. If you need to walk this foot out a bit to open up the hip a little bit more, feel free to do so. We're coming down to the floor here. If you are up here, that's totally fine too. You're feeling that stretch through the hip, in through the calf, in through the hamstring, in through the thigh. There's so many places that you're going to feel this if you have not done it a whole lot. Coming down to the floor, lifting that leg off the floor, we're activating through more muscles that way for 2. Last breath here, we're coming out, dropping that right foot back, coming into the left side now, getting that yoga block, books, whatever you need, blanket even will work, and then dropping down, halfway down. If you can only go halfway, extending that right leg out if you need that extra stretch, walking this left foot out if you need that extra mobility here. That's 3. For 2. And 1. That's the last breath there. We're coming out of this and we're going to drop back into child's pose briefly. Sitting on top of the heels, we're going to reach the arms overhead. And this is going to help stretch out the back into the hips, into the shoulders, keeping the elbows off the floor here. We'll activate into the shoulders, up through the arms, into the back. We're going to get ready for Shavasana, one of my favorite poses. We're going to do Happy Baby just before. Maybe we'll roll the spine out a little bit. From here, coming back towards the front of the mat, we're going to get a spinal roll or 2 here. You want to hug the knees in as best you can. If you can only hug the knees with the hands, that's totally fine. If you can wrap the arms around the legs, that's perfect. If not, don't worry about it. It's not about being perfect. It's about being inside your body. From here, if you can tuck the head down to the knees, that's fine. If you can't, that's also fine. We're going to use the toes to push off, and we're rolling back onto the shoulder blades as best you can. If you need some extra padding here, that blanket will be mighty fine. But if you're like me, you need a hard surface to get that spine back into alignment. All right, here we go. We're rolling right onto the back. You can hug the knees in however you want. Or you can get happy baby in with me. We're reaching the arms through the thighs, grabbing the outsides of the feet, hugging the knees into the elbows, and we're rocking left and right. Nice relaxation time here. We're rolling, rocking out some stress in the hips, kidneys, and adrenal glands. I'm going to turn my big light off here once we're ready to Shavasana. And I'm also going to turn around so you can hear me a little more clearly as my heater has come on, as it is fall here in the mountains. You can feel free to turn some lights off for yourself as well. This will help lighten the mood, relax a little more. And then we're just simply lying out into Shavasana. If you want a pillow or a blanket here, feel free to cover up. I'm going to use the blanket today only to cover myself up half because I am pretty warm today. So just feeling nice and comfortable here. We are spreading the heels hip width apart or wide or whatever you're comfortable doing. As we relax from the toes all the way up through the legs, into the knees, into the calves, where the quads, hamstrings, glutes, hips, in through our lumbar spine attached to our hips, up through our abdomen, into our thoracic spine where our rib cage starts. Coming up to the top thoracic, we're going to push into the backs of the elbows, and we're just going to roll each shoulder blade underneath like we did earlier with Anahata Chakra, and just open that chest nice and wide. We can rest with our palms faced up, faced down, or resting on the chest. I prefer my left hand to be on my heart center and my right hand to be kind of where my stomach is. And then from there, we're coming up to the chin. We're tucking that chin down. Once again, engaging Jalandhara Bandha here and Ujjayi breath, and extending that cervical spine. From here, you're going to soften your gaze and close your eyes and focus back to your inhales and exhales. And I'm going to walk us through the relaxation, withdrawing our senses, 4 of them. As we inhale and exhale, I want you to modify your breathing here until we get to the end and I tell you to release your breath. So we're going to inhale and exhale, counting the breaths as you need if you got that overactive mind. Letting go of everything that happened before we started. Letting go of everything that happened or needs to happen after we're done. And focusing to the breath, resisting the urge to open the eyes and look around, as sight is our most reliant sensory organ, until we lose it, and sound, nice deep inhales and exhales, withdrawing the sense of sight. Next, we're moving to our sense of sound. Listening to the sounds inside and outside of the room. And then going to the sound that you can hear that's furthest away. Maybe it's a train, a plane, a busy street, maybe a neighbor or somebody's being loud in the next room. We're focusing back to the inhales and exhales to distract our mind from the sense of sound. Next, we're moving to our sense of smell. Noticing the odors inside the room, maybe some coming from outside the room. Maybe they're pleasant, maybe not so pleasant. Focusing back to the inhales and exhales to distract the mind from the sense of smell, bringing us into the current moment. Last but not least, our sense of touch. Resisting the urge to move, to fidget, to adjust your clothing, to scratch that itch. Noticing the room temperature on the bare skin. We focus back to the inhales and exhales to distract the mind from the sense of touch. From here, you can let the breath go, let it happen naturally for the next 3 to 5 minutes. Again, if you need count those breaths and keep modifying to distract the mind, that's totally fine. getting close to 5 minutes here. We're going to bring some gentle movement back to the body by wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Get some wrist and ankle rotations going. Few rotations one way. And then a few rotations the opposite way now. I'm going to flex into the abdominal muscles and hug the knees into the chest so we protect our spine. And you just rock left and right nice and gently, about 1 inch to 2 inches. Just bring some gentle movement into the hips and spine. And from here we're going to roll to our right side to relax through the body and the brain. And as we roll to our right side, the arm on the floor is going to be our pillow, resting the head on the bicep. The opposite hand is in front of the face on the floor, or hugging the knees into the chest for stability here. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Before we come back up when we're ready to that comfortable cross-legged position. Pushing back up when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Coming back to that comfortable cross-legged position. Getting back into those sit bones, we're going to engage into 2 or 3 cleansing breaths. Nice deep inhale, here we go. And sigh. One more, nice deep inhale. And sigh. Last one, nice deep inhale. And sigh. 45 minutes of yoga practice. Super simple, super easy. Take care of yourself because nobody can do it for you. I'll see you next week on Wednesday for 30 minutes of yoga practice. Bye for now.